What is data protection? Data protection is a process of safeguarding important information from corruptions, compromise, or loss. The importance of data protection increases as the amount of data created and stored continues to grow at a unprecedented rate. There is also little tolerance for downtime that can make it possible to access important information. Consequentially, a large part of a data protection strategy is ensuring the data can be restored quickly after any corruption or loss. Protecting data from compromise and ensure data privacy are other key components of data protection. Principle of data protection. The key principles of data protection are safeguard and make available data under all circumstances. The term data protection is used to describe both operational backup of data and business continuity, disaster recovery, BC or DR. Data protection strategies are involving along two lines: data availability and data management. Data availability ensures users have the data they need to conduct business even if the data is damaged or lost. There are two key areas of data management: use and data protections, data lifecycle management, and information lifecycle management. Data lifecycle management is a process of automating the movement of critical data to online and offline storage. Information lifecycle management is a comprehensive strategy for evaluating, cataloging, and protecting information assets from application and user errors, malware and virus attacks, machine failures, or facility outage and disruptions. More recently, data management has come to include finding ways to unlock business value from otherwise dormant copies of data for reporting, test, diff, enablement, analytics, and other purposes.
Storage technologies that can be used to protect data include a disk or tape backup that copies designated information to the disk-based storage array or a tape cartridge device so it can be safely stored. Storage snapshot can be automatically generate a set of pointers to information stored on a tape or disk, enabling faster data recovery. While continuous data protection (CDP) backs up all the data in enterprise whenever a change is made. Data portability. Data portability is ability to move data among the different applications, programs, computing environments, or cloud services. Present another set of problems and solutions for the data protections. CSP. On the other hand, it requires a safeguard against the data duplication. Cloud backup is becoming more prevalent. Organizations frequently move their backup to the data public clouds or clouds maintained by the backup vendors. Primary data storage. That's when the backup data would be accessed and used to restore lost and damaged data. Cloud backup is becoming more prevalent. Organizations frequently move their backup data to public clouds or clouds maintained by the backup vendors. The converge of disaster recovery and backup. Another area where the data protection technologies are coming together is in the merging of backup and disaster recovery (DR) or capabilities. Virtualization has played a major role here, shifting the focus from the copying data at a specific point in the time continuous data protections. Snapshots and replications have made it possible to recover much faster from a disaster than in the past. Data deduplication, also known as the data dedupe, plays a key role in a disk-based backup. Dedupe eliminates redundant copies of data to reduce the storage capacity required for the backups. CDP has to come play a key role in the disaster recovery, and it enables fast to restore a backup data. CDP enables organization to roll back up to the last good copy of file or database, reducing the amount of information lost in the case of corruption and deletion of data. Enterprise data protection strategies. Modern data protection for the primary storage involve using a built-in system that supplements or replaces, backs up, and protects against the following problems. 1. Media failure. The goal here is to make the data available even if a storage device fails. Synchronous mirroring is one approach in which data is written to local disk and remote site at the same time. RAID protection is an alternative that requires less overhead capacity. With the RAID, physical drives are combined into the logical unit that presented a single hard drive to the operating system. Erasure coding is an alternative advanced RAID that often used to scale out storage environments. Corruption. When the data corrupt or accidentally deleted, a snapshot can be used to set things right. Most storage systems today can track hundreds of snapshots without any significant effect on performance. 2. Storage system failure. To protect against multiple drive failures or some major event, data center rely on replication technology built on top of snapshot. Secondary storage system. Snapshot replication is also used to replicate the data to site secondary storage that available for recovery if the primary storage fails. 3. Full-on data center failure. Protection against the loss of the data center requires a full disaster recovery plan. As with the failure scenarios, there are multiple options. Snapshots replications, where the data is replicated to the secondary site, is one option. However, the cost of running secondary site can be prohibitive. Cloud service are another alternative replication, and cloud backup products and services can be used to store a most recent copies of data that is the most likely to be needed in the event of major disaster. And to instantiate application image, the result is the rapid recovery in the event. Data protection trends. The latest trends in the data protection policy and technology include the following. 1. Hyper-convergence. With the advent of the hyper-convergence, vendors have started offering appliances that provide a backup and recovery for the physical and virtual environments that hyper-converge and non-hyper-converge and mix. Data protection capabilities integrated in hyper-converged infrastructure are replacing a range of devices in the data center. 2. Ransomware. This is a type of malware which holds the data hostage for an extortion fee is a growing problem. Traditional backup methods has been used to protect from ransomware. However, the sophisticated ransomware is adapting to and circumventing traditional backup processes. The latest version of malware slowly filtrates an organization's data over time so that organization end up backing to the ransomware virus along with the data. 3. Copy data management or CDM cuts the number of the copies of the data an organization must save, reducing the overhead required. Store, manage, and data, simplifying the data protections. 4. Disaster recovery as a service or DRaaS. Use is expanding as more options are offered and prices come down. It's being used for the critical business system where the increasing amount of data is being replicated rather than just backup. The mobile data protection. Data protection on mobile device has its own challenges. It can be difficult to extract data from this device. Inconsistent connectivity makes scheduling backups difficult if not impossible. And mobile data protection is further complicated by the need to keep a personal data to store a mobile device separate from the business data. File sync and share is the one approaches to the data protection on mobile device. While it isn't true backup, file sync and share products typically use the replication as sync user files to the authority in the public cloud or an organization networks. Difference between security and privacy. In general, data security refers to the specifically to measure taken to protect the integrity of the data itself against manipulation and malware. While privacy refers to the controlling access to the data, understandably, a privacy breach can lead to the data security, data protection, and privacy. Data privacy laws and regulation vary from the country to country and even from the state to state, and there's the constant stream of a new ones. China's data privacy law went in effect on June 1, 2017. Compliance is steep fines and other penalties including have to stop doing business in the country or region covered by the law or regulations. The basis of data protection and privacy applies across the board and include safeguarding data, getting consent from the person whose data is being collected, identifying the regulations that apply the organization in question the data it collects, ensuring employees are fully trained in the nuances of data privacy and security. EU Data Protection Directive. EU is European Union updated its data privacy laws with a directive that went into effect May 25, 2018. The GDPR replaced the EU Data Protection Directive of 1995 and focused on making businesses more transparent. It also expanding privacy rights with respect to the personal data. Fundamental right to data protection. The GDPR in Recital 1 notes that protection of personal data is a fundamental right. However, in Recital 4, it says the right must be balanced with other rights. Recital 1 states the protection of natural person in relation to the processing of personal data is a fundamental right article. The Recital 4 states the processing of personal data should be designed to serve mankind. The right protection of personal data is not absolute right.